They called her the most beautiful woman in the world. But behind those violet eyes was a life filled with epic love stories, personal demons, and unmatched stardom. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just a movie star. She was Hollywood royalty. A child actress turned icon, a lover of diamonds and danger, and the last living thread to an era when the studio system reigned supreme. But how did she become a global legend? This is the untold story of Elizabeth Taylor, the last queen of classic Hollywood, the golden girl of MGM. Elizabeth Taylor's entrance into Hollywood was nothing short of cinematic. Born in England and raised in California, she landed her first contract with Universal at the age of 9. But it was MGM that turned her into a star. Her breakout role in National Velvet at just 12 years old didn't just bring her fame. It cemented her as one of America's most beloved young actresses. With her striking violet eyes and natural charisma, she captivated audiences in a way few child actors could. Unlike many child stars whose fame faded with age, Elizabeth evolved with astonishing ease. Her transition into adult roles was seamless, and by the time she was 20, she was not just a screen beauty. She was a bona fide box office powerhouse. Films like A Place in the Sun, Giant, and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof showcased her incredible range. Critics took notice of her intensity, while audiences connected to her raw emotion. She wasn't just admired, she was respected. Known for her husky voice, magnetic screen presence, and fearless emotional delivery, Taylor proved she was far more than a pretty face. She was a force of nature in Hollywood's golden age, a love life that rivaled any script. Elizabeth Taylor's love life was so dramatic, passionate, and unpredictable that it could have filled its own movie franchise. She married 8 times to 7 different men, each relationship bringing its own blend of glamour, heartbreak, and headlines. Her first marriage to hotel heir Nicky Hilton was a whirlwind that quickly turned sour, marked by emotional abuse and control. Her second marriage to actor Michael Welding was more stable, but ultimately faded as their careers pulled them in different directions. Her third, to producer Mike Todd, was by all accounts deeply loving, but tragically short-lived. Todd died in a plane crash just over a year into their marriage, leaving Taylor devastated and forever marked by grief. And then came Richard Burton. Their relationship wasn't just a love story, it was an era-defining phenomenon. They met during the filming of Cleopatra, a troubled production plagued by delays, budget overruns, and off-screen drama. Their affair, launched while both were married to other people, scandalized the public, enraged religious leaders, and gripped the global press. But their chemistry was undeniable. Taylor and Burton married in 1964, divorced a decade later, and then married again in 1975, only to separate for good within a year. Their love was famously volatile, passionate, and fueled by equal parts devotion and destruction. Yet through all the chaos, theirs remains one of the most iconic romances in Hollywood history. A reminder that for Taylor, love was always all or nothing. The first actress paid $1 million. Cleopatra wasn't just a film. It was a seismic moment in Hollywood history. With a record-breaking salary of $1 million, Elizabeth Taylor shattered the industry's glass ceiling and became the highest-paid actress of her time. The deal sparked outrage among studio executives and headlines around the world, but it also redefined what female stars could demand. Her paycheck didn't just cover her performance. It included wardrobe allowances, accommodations, and an unprecedented profit share. It was a bold business move that changed how women negotiated in Hollywood. The production itself was a financial nightmare. Delays, reshoots, and an extravagant budget nearly sank 20th Century Fox, but Taylor's magnetism on screen and her scandalous romance with co-star Richard Burton off-screen kept audiences riveted. Despite the chaos, Cleopatra made history and Taylor emerged not just as a movie star, but as a businesswoman with real power. She didn't slow down. Taylor followed Cleopatra with a string of bold, challenging roles, including her Academy Award-winning performances in Butterfield 8 and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. The latter showcased her raw emotional range and marked a dramatic evolution from glamorous icon to critically respected actress. By then, she wasn't just a star, she was a force of nature, a trailblazer for AIDS advocacy. As her film career began to slow in the 1980s, Elizabeth Taylor redirected her energy towards something far more urgent: activism. At a time when most public figures avoided the topic, Taylor became one of the first major celebrities to speak out about the AIDS epidemic, a crisis that was still shrouded in fear, stigma, and misinformation. She co-founded the American Foundation for AIDS Research, AMFAR, and later launched the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, personally raising millions of dollars and using her global fame to drive awareness where few dared to go. The cause was deeply personal to her. She had lost close friends, including actor Rock Hudson, to the disease, and she refused to stand by in silence. Taylor lobbied Congress, hosted benefit events, and constantly challenged the media and public to care. For her tireless efforts, she was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal, along with numerous humanitarian honors. In doing so, she transformed her public image. Once labeled a diva, she came to be revered as a fearless advocate, well ahead of her time. A life lived loudly, but authentically. Elizabeth Taylor didn't just wear diamonds, she defined what it meant to dazzle. Her personal collection was the stuff of legend, including the iconic 69-carat Taylor Burton diamond, gifted to her by Richard Burton. Her love for luxury was never a secret. She embraced it, celebrated it, and owned it with unapologetic confidence. But behind the sparkle was a woman of deep complexity. She loved extravagantly, lived boldly, and broke nearly every rule ever written for women in Hollywood. She battled addiction, endured serious health issues, and experienced profound heartbreak. From the loss of husbands to the scrutiny of public opinion, she was ridiculed by tabloids and dismissed by critics. Yet she never allowed the narrative to be written without her voice. Elizabeth Taylor never fit into Hollywood's mold, and she never tried to. Her defiance, her strength, and her vulnerability all became essential parts of her legacy. The final chapter of classic Hollywood. When Elizabeth Taylor passed away, it felt like the closing of a chapter. She was one of the last true stars forged by the old studio system, and the only one who survived it, reinvented herself, and outlived her critics. Her name is synonymous with glamour, but her story is also one of struggle, survival, and strength. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just the queen of the silver screen. She was the embodiment of a Hollywood that no longer exists. Her legend was earned not just in films, but in fire, personal, public, and political. What's your favorite Elizabeth Taylor moment? A film, a quote, a story? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're inspired by Hollywood icons, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more legendary stories from the golden age of cinema.